November 4th. First thing we're going to have is invocation. Pastor Baker. Please come through. Thank you, sir, for being here.
Let us pray. Our kindly gracious Heavenly Father, come to prayer. We thank you for this day, God. We thank you for each one of these board members, Lord, for their honorable men and the lady as well, Lord. We ask you to bless them, God. And Lord, may each person be honest, Lord. And also we ask you to bless these elections, that, Lord, everyone who goes in office may be doing what's honest and do what's right and please in your sight. In the name of Jesus, amen.
Amen. Thank you, Pastor.
Thank you.
Thank you. Let us stand and say the pledge of allegiance. Pledge of allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, public comments, 3 minutes. Talk about anything you want to talk about. Public comments.
Yes, if no one else does.
Good evening. I'll try to speak up since we have now begun recording the meetings to broadcast later for citizens who can't be in attendance. And I noticed last time that it's a little difficult to hear softer voices on there. So we're not asking any of you to shout, just making you aware of that. It is something important, especially, that you have to say. My name is Jean Hedrick. I live on Candlewood Drive in Elon. I'm the founder and the sole administrator of Concerned Citizens of Gibsonville. And I wanted to bring tonight handouts to make available to the town manager. And there's enough for each alderman if you would like one. I will offer those. And these contain citizen feedback from the last 3 years. We were founded during the 2016 election, and at that time we began pitching our tent out on the town square during downtown markets and talking to all citizens who came through. And since that time we have founded a Facebook page which has almost 500 readers now. We call them members, but that doesn't imply that a member of the page has the same opinion on everything. Far from it. We encourage polite and civil discussion, and it's been very interesting during election time, so if you're interested you might want to check that out. The feedback, there are about 13 different points, and these are, like I said, things that have been gathered over the last 3 years, during the 2016 election, during this election, and then just during the downtimes. Things that citizens told us that they like about Gibsonville, things that they're concerned about with Gibsonville, and it really covers a wide range. So I wanted to offer it tonight, before the election tomorrow, so that everyone on the board would have it, so that if there do wind up being any changes, as a civic leader, you would still have it. And trust me, we have plenty more if anybody new comes in. And I have extras tonight if anyone who's in attendance would like one as well. So, here you go. We would also like to encourage everyone, if you're a registered voter, to turn out and vote. We would like to wish each candidate, each incumbent, each new candidate the very best tomorrow. And we pray for good weather.
Thank
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
Are you going to be offering throughout the year just during election time?
Well, actually, just a few months ago, I was going to close shop. I've been very busy taking care of my parents, who live in eastern North Carolina again now. They were displaced by the hurricane, but have relocated here, and I was living with them and caring for them. And that takes a lot of time. My son is a homeschool student and a dual student at ACC, and I'm a seminary student. So I announced to the readership that I was just going to close the page because I just really didn't feel that I had time to tend it properly anymore. And I was really shocked by the number of people who asked me not to and offered their help. And so then I said, okay, I'll keep it open through elections and I'll think about it. And actually, you'll be the first to know, Bear Williams. I do think that I'm going to keep it open, but I have posted a request for more moderators because being the only administrator is a really huge job. I'm the only one who has any decision-making capability, and it's just too much for one person. Moderators just get people to follow the policy. If they have any problems, they report back to me. And it's a heavy load, and it's not one that I want to carry by myself. If more people come on as moderators, we'll stay open. And if more active volunteers come on, then we will. If not, then they'll be looking for someone to replace me because my husband wants to see me again, and I just have other things that I need to do. And I'll be a volunteer, but not an administrator.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Anyone else? Next item on the agenda, approval of the agenda.
Motion to approve. Second.
Have motion to approve, second question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, motion carried. Item number 4, approval of the minutes.
Make a motion to approve. Second.
Have second question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, the minutes have been approved. Thank you. Item number 5, an ordinance approving the annexation agreement with the town of Elon and the town of Gibsonville. And this is a public hearing. So, first I'll ask the board, the manager, go ahead.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You do have the ordinance. If the board so chooses to approve that, that'll be the item that would need to be approved. And by approving that, you have the annexation agreement, and which basically defines the boundary line between the town of Elon and town of Gibsonville for future development. And you've got a map and description. Mr. Josh Johnson, if you have any questions about it, anything beyond, he's worked on this with us, and the attorneys, for both. If there's anything you have regarding that, we've kind of got the boundary line, Gibsonville, Oscar.
Yes, it's been since it's, my voice is, but since it's a public hearing, so we're, the consent, or the line of agreement, the annexation line of agreement will start north of Haggard Avenue, where the existing line of agreement from 1986 was done, which is basically the yellow dashed line on the screen. Then there's a yellow line that goes up, basically up through, ends up on Manning Avenue, intersection of Manning Avenue, gives philosophy. That line is part of this, what is being proposed, but it's basically developed on both sides. To the east has been Elon, to the west has been Gibsonville. And that's kind of a natural dividing line, it's a big extension. And then the area that has not been developed, basically, is this red line going up, and it goes up, gives up the center line, gives Philosophy Road to the intersection of Prison Farm Road and Midway Church Road. So the first document that's been said is the actual annexation agreement, which will establish that line. That agreement is contingent upon the asset purchase agreement, which is for the Travis Creek Pump Station, the Travis Creek Force Main, and a portion of the Travis Creek Outfall. And the reason for that is because the Travis Creek Pump Station is basically right about where the O and of, or the right in here, and that is that would be directly in. Right now, Gibsonville owns it, and Elon will be purchasing that from Gibsonville because it's basically right in the middle of where Elon's service area would be if this agreement is approved. All of the agreement, all of it is contingent upon approval from the city of Burlington on the sewer agreements in between Gibsonville and Burlington and Elon and Burlington. And we prepared a draft, and it's been sent to Burlington and Burlington staff for their review. The intent on that is that it will go to the Burlington City Council in December for their approval. As an update, the further update is that the agreement was presented, the public hearing was held in Elon tonight, and they will vote on it at their regular meeting Tuesday.
Like, you said we'll go up to, where does it stop again?
It stops at the intersection of Gibsonville Ospey Road, and to the west is Prison Farm Road, and to the east is Midway Church Road.
Okay, so anything past that doesn't,
Anything to the north of that is not subject to this.
okay.
That's way too out of the country. That's way out of the country.
Yes, and for reference, Western High School is over here, so that is a considerable distance that we're going to move.
Any questions from the board?
Yeah, Mayor, make a motion to open the public hearing. Second.
Have a motion over the public hearing, second question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing, each side will have 20 minutes. Have one person get up and speak 20 minutes, the rest of you won't have any time. Each side will have 20 minutes, so if you got people for or against it, you have to get together, make sure nobody goes over 20 minutes.
Questions?
All right. This is, if
Yeah, that's what
anybody
he said.
wants to speak in favor. Okay. Is there anybody want to speak against it?
I have a question. I'm not speaking against it. I just have a question.
Go ahead. 20 minutes start.
Not only 20 minutes. I just wanted to see how far east that line is going to be for what Elon is getting versus, are you saying that that vertical line right there is as far as Gibsonville gets?
Yes.
So how far east is Elon?
Gibsonville, for the line of agreement, Gibsonville would, future annexation would be on the west of that line, to the east of that line would be Elon. Elon is bounded to the east by Burlington. And Burlington has a water line that goes up Highway 87. And so at some point to the east, it becomes bounded. Where that line is unclear because there is no agreement between Burlington and Elon.
And what's the second red line to the west?
Oh, that's the county line.
Okay,
Sorry.
Got
Yes,
it.
no, that's a very good point. Okay, yes.
thank you.
It's all the way from the middle line, all the way west as
I got it.
far as Gibsonville wants to go.
Okay, I thought that was the other one.
Yes, ma'am, that's a very good point. The line in the middle of the page is the Guilford County line.
It's just like the town, half Alabama, half you.
Right, right.
Anybody else? Yeah.
Make a motion to close the public hearing.
Have a
Second.
question? All in favor of the motion, say aye. Public hearing is closed. Up to the board. Yes. Anybody want to speak on it?
Mayor, make a motion we approve the ordinance approving the annexation agreement with Elon. Second.
Have a motion second. Any question? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries. Nothing. Have a
Aye.
unanimous. Thank you very much. This ordinance has been approved. Item number 6. Asset purchase agreement between the town of Elon and the town of Gibsonville. This is not a problem. Any questions?
I got one question.
Okay.
I've asked the town manager, and he's pretty well, don't get me wrong, I'm for it.
Okay.
If 10 years from now, if the lines fill up, have we got to pay to put more lines in there, or Elon gonna pay, what's gonna happen?
Mike.
So, Clarence, when you say when the lines fill up, did you say when the pump station reaches capacity?
The capacity of the lines going to Burlington.
Then the way it's set up is that if the cost to upgrade the capacity of the station or the lines would be split 50-50 between Elon and Gibsonville. Right now, the capacity of the station is 800,000 gallons a day, and the agreement splits it in half. And then the station can be expanded to 1.2 million gallons a day relatively easily. And that expansion is also split in half. But the funding of it is also split in half.
So suppose they come along and put 6 million gallons in our day, we don't put for 2 million, it would be fair for us to have to pay
That's
for
correct.
them.
That's correct. Hey, if you want, so you have 400,000 gallons a day, right now, capacity in that station, according to this agreement, because we split it in half, and they have 400,000. If they want to go over their 400,000, they have to pay the upgrade cost to go over the 400,000.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Where are we now in terms of 800,000?
800,000, over the last 3 years, it's about 200,000 each, roughly. Yeah. Last year was abnormally wet, so it was a little high.
Any other? Take a motion.
Well, I make a motion, we approve the asset purchase agreement. Second.
Any question? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? The motion is agreed to. Thank you very much. Item number 7, ordinance approving rezoning request, 707 Slade Street, Cappadocia Church. This is right here. Mr. Packer.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let Mr. Parker, our town planner, present this item to the board. You've got a couple of different things I will just say. You've got the ordinance to amend the zoning map, and also the statement of consistency, and those can be done as we research, can be done in the same motion or separate. When we looked at that, there was something from the school of government that mentioned that, so.
No, say that again.
You can include the statement of consistency along with the ordinance in the same motion, if you
Okay.
desire, or do them separately.
Okay.
Good evening, Board. The Board has a zoning request from Cappadocia Church. As being said, the property is located at 707 Slade Street. The surrounding zonings of the property is a RS12 and a RM8, and this makes it consistent with the surrounding zonings. The property has been posted and all the proper notifications have been made. During the planning board meeting, the board did vote unanimously by 4-0 vote to approve the rezoning. And at this time, the property isn't consistent with our land use plan, so it had to be amended to include this property as neighborhood residential. Me and Mr. Bigelow here representing Cappadocia Church. We'll be happy to answer any questions.
Yes, sir. Planning board chair's here too.
Yeah, planning board chair, Mr. Harrison.
You says, when will we have to do the amendment to make it consistent with the language?
Along the
Tonight, if you include the statement of consistency.
Okay.
that is-
All right.
You get it, the language is in there, that it is being amended.
Okay. Mrs. Bigelow, are you interested in speaking with Cappadocia? Are you? Oh, let me just back up a minute.
We'll make a motion to open the public hearing.
This is second. I have a motion, public hearing second. Question, all in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Public hearing is now open. Each side got 20 minutes, thank you.
I would just like to say good afternoon to everyone, and protocol has already been established. I'm here to represent Cappadocia Holiness Church, which is also Cappadocia Inner Outreach. We're just trying to have some apartments for 55 and older plus veterans will be able, and we're going to have some veterans, you know, sometimes we have to go by income, and we have veterans that do not have a lot of income. So we're gonna have spaces also for them that they can come into the center. And we're not calling them apartments. It's more gonna be like assisted living. And if y'all been seeing it advertised in High Point, where the 55 years and older, it's more like a living space, which is gonna be really nice. It's not gonna be just an apartment, but there's somewhere that you can retire and everything, all the amenities be there. And I hope tonight that the board consider us doing this, because not only is it gonna be a blessing for Gibsonville, it's gonna be a blessing if we can't afford to pay $800 or $900. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anybody else want to speak in favor? Okay.
Steve Harrison, and I am speaking as the chairman of the planning board tonight. We asked numerous questions during our planning board meeting, probing, the facility itself and the types of people that would be eligible, and looking at the area, there are already 2 apartment complexes very close to each other, right across the street. And a friend of mine had mentioned or concerned with the potential in that area for those seniors to be vulnerable to crime. And so I am also concerned about that, but I believe that if we do this and bring these folks into the neighborhood, it will actually improve the overall quality of the neighborhood with retired people. I just wanted to reiterate that I recommend that you do approve this.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
And anybody else want to speak in favor? Okay. Those who may oppose, would like to oppose. Okay.
We'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Second.
Have a motion to close the public hearing. Have a second question. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, public hearing is closed. I'd just like to add a couple of comments. I know that I spoke to Mrs. Nevels about senior housing in Rollinsford. They got a waiting list. The Gibsonville senior housing have a waiting list, and there are other organizations that's open, that on the other housing over the aisle, or near the Gibsonville senior housing, they have a waiting list. So this would be a great asset to those who are trying to get into a program like this, especially veterans. Any comments from the board?
I make a motion, we approve along with the rezoning change also.
Yeah.
And the statement of consistency.
Yeah. Okay.
You got?
Set up that motion, so.
Is it the ordinance and the statement of consistency?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, have a motion.
Second.
Question? All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Thank you very much, unanimous. The proposal, the ordinance has been approved. Item number 8, FY 2020 budget ordinance amendment number 3. Mr. Back.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just a couple of items. Budget ordinance, amendment number 3 is needed to allocate federal drug funds for K-9 training, account for state aid grant to the Gibsonville Public Library, 2 months allocation of a grant, and a donation to the senior center. Look at your memo and your ordinance amendment. Increase of $100 in miscellaneous line item to account for a donation to senior center. Increase of $816 in library state aid grant line item to account for said funding. An increase of $10,500 federal drug funds to allocate said funds for K-9 training. And then that's for the revenues, and then you go have to equal out with the expenditures. So increase of $10,500 police line item for the K-9 training, and then $100 recreation line item for contribution to the senior center, and $816 line item for the library line item to account for 2 months of the state grant. So the total impact is $11,416 to the general fund budget.
Any questions?
I make a motion, we approve the 2020 budget ordinance amendment 3.
Second.
Any questions? the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Motion carries, thank you. Item number 9, sellback of cemetery plots back to the town. Mr. Bax.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. You have a letter from Becky Guthrie Johnson, and she would like to sell 6 graves she owns at the Gibsonville Cemetery back to the town. And as per the town policy, the cost of the 6 graves is $2,400, and she would receive half of the going price, which would be $1,200. So staff's recommending the approval of the sale back of the.
Make a motion to be approved for $1,200.
Have a motion to be approved, second.
Second.
All in favor of the motion, say aye. Those opposed? Thank you very much. That's been, reports.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I'd like to commend the Gibsonville Public Works Department. The last weekend, the household hazardous waste and shredded event at their facility. I think it went really well from my understanding. The numbers were consistent with when we did it a couple years ago with Elon. Our numbers over there, actually, I think they were a little higher this time than when our participation was over at Elon. So that was a good event. Hopefully that would be continued. It does allow our residents a place to dispose of those types of items. Want to let everybody know Veterans Day will be the 11th. Town Hall will be closed for Veterans Day, and the garbage drive will be collected, money drive will be collected on Tuesday, the 12th. Lighting of the greens, that event's coming up on the 22nd, Friday the 22nd, from 5:30 to 8:30. And Thanksgiving is going to be the 28th and 29th of November. 28th garbage, which is Thursday, will be picked up on Wednesday the 27th, and Friday the 29th garbage will be picked up on Monday, the following Monday, December 3rd. I just wanted to, I'm not say anything, but make sure, I didn't know if the board was going to meet again on the 18th. That'll be the next meeting, unless the board wanted to.
Are we meeting? We don't use it.
At this point in time,
You don't have anything?
at this point we don't. I just want to make sure.
We won't.
Okay. The reason I wanted to say that, and I did want to say that I want to just recognize Seth Rosin, our intern for the fall. He didn't know I was going to recognize him, but we will recognize. Well, I guess this may be a kind of idea. I wasn't sure we were going to be meeting, but we do want to appreciate Seth. We'll do something a little later, but this will probably be his last meeting, I guess, because it's the 27th is his last day of November. We really appreciate what Seth's done. I think he's had a chance to have some exposure to a lot of different things, and so I'm very pleased to have him this past fall. So.
And thank you all for having me. Yeah.
When will you be back?
I know you gotta hire me.
Everything I've heard about
The 27th.
Anything else? Do you want to mention about the contract on the property? The contract on somebody to build, if the guy was thinking about coming in and buying a build. Do you want to mention?
Yes, you could.
Huh? Well, I just told you
You're talking Piedmont Avenue?
that. Yeah.
The brick building,
Yeah,
125 Piedmont Avenue is under contract. That's what you mentioned. We're supposed to be meeting with the folks out of New Jersey. They do have operations in Ashboro. It's an industrial service, so we're excited about that.
Okay, I just thought that was positive for the town of Gibson. Anything else? I just have one thing. Last week, the governor signed the extension for the historic tax credits. And the limits were on edge, so was I, because I didn't know whether it was going to sign them. But I did, he didn't respond to it, but I sent him an email saying that the town of Gibsonville really need that bill extended, because we had this bill, had a contractor ready to go, provided we got the tax credits. Well, the tax credits have been approved, and 108 of the Lindley mills has been sold. Within the next few weeks, we should see something develop over that part of the apartment. I'm gonna be meeting with the lenders after this week to talk about the other part of it. The other part didn't get approved because they had made some changes to it. So whether he's gonna go back and try to take those bricks off or not that they put on it to qualify for tax credit or sell it just as it is. He's looking to do something over there very soon. But the apartments, and I forgot, I believe it's 4 to 1 unit, they expect that work to the side. But that should be started within the next 2 or 3 months. Have a contract, and it's ready to go. Outside of that, that's all I have. Anything else?
You hope that gets done, because they can't even pass the budget right.
Well, at least we have the tax credits been extended. Actually, they did a mini budget to get the tax credits. I'm so glad they did. So now we can move that. Okay, take a motion.
Motion to adjourn.
Thank all for coming.